Hello YouTube, so this is part 2 of the color switch remake, and I opened up Unity and this is what happened. So it wasn't showing up most of the buttons I put. So if that happens to you too, click all the sprites we already put in. All the sprites, select them all, and it's gonna ask order in layer, press 1. Okay, there's more. Let's put them in 1. Alright. The background, leave that. Okay. Word circle 2. Order and layer 1. And then the actual word. Order and layer 1. And I think that's all we have for now. So now we're gonna make these buttons be clickable, or at least like the play button, we want that to open up a new scene. So what we're gonna do right now, this was just to show us the layout. So what we're gonna do right now, go to game object, UI, which is user interface, and click button. Alright, let's let that load. Okay, that's gonna pop up. Now click canvas, and then you're gonna see canvas scaler. It says constant pixel size. Change it to scale with screen size. Okay, now that's better. Now in the button you're gonna see some text. We don't want that, so let's delete that. So now this is the play button. So what we want to do is go here to our assets, go down to our assets, find the play button, drag it to source image of this button here, source image, and change it to play button. So now what we want to do, we're gonna delete this play button here, the sprite. We're gonna delete. So now we're actually creating a button. That was just there to show us where the button was gonna go. So it was like, this is all a blueprint. We're gonna delete all of these and put actual buttons. So now what you want to do, let's scale this up. You can do that by going over here to height, which scales it up on the y-axis, and then width is the x-axis. So scale it up to where it looks good, and then here it should be centered in the middle, and that's good. Alright, let's move it a little like that. Okay, now if we click play, alright, let's let it load, and we click the button, you see it's now clickable. Alright, so what we want to do here, go down here, go to the right, and you'll see button, and then it says target graphic highlighted color. You can change that to like orange if you want. That just shows if you're highlighted over it, that's what the button's color is gonna be. Press color, let's change it to a darker grayish. Alright, disable color is normal. Now let's add the buttons for the, let's add these buttons down here. So let's duplicate this button. Actually, rename this button first. Rename it to play button. Then you can duplicate it. And now let's move it down. This here is also a button, so let's get that done. Drag the game modes into source image. Let's scale it down. Okay. Like that. A little more. Alright, now let's change the color of this to blue or lighter blue. Let's delete the game modes sprite. Okay, so there we have that. And let's rename that to game modes. Okay. Okay, that looks good. So if you're wondering what I just did there, there's this one sprite here called game modes. Uh, like I said, this was all a blueprint for where we're gonna put the buttons. So you're gonna delete the game mode sprite from over here, then you're gonna create a button and put the actual make a button for game modes by dragging this game modes sprite to the source image of the button. Then you have that. So next, what we want to do for this one, yeah, just leave it the same as that. Highlighted color and press color is the same. Okay, now let's duplicate that. Actually, go back to that. Go to anchor. Let's change the anchor to like, this one's in, ooh, it's just in the bottom, I guess. Yeah, it's in bottom. And now let's go back to if the duplicated game modes. Let's change that to trophy. Okay. As you see, our trophy is blue. We don't want that. Let's change it back to white. So what you want to do, let's name it trophy first. Trophy. And then you see the trophy sprite here. You're gonna go over here and look for it. Where is it at? Wow, what's the name of it here? Trophy? Yeah. Okay, I see it. Let's delete it. Okay, now go to your trophy button. Scale it. Let's see. I think that's about right. And like that. Okay. So once you scale that up to where it looks right, let's scale it up on the height. Okay, so now let's go to anchor, bottom left. Okay, let's duplicate the trophy one. Next one is the stats. Okay, change it to stats. Okay, so now let's delete the stats sprite from here, and let's go back to our button and click and drag the stats source image to the UI button. Okay, now let's duplicate this button here. Okay, this one, next one is star 2. So let's go over here, let's delete star 2, go to stats 2 or whatever, stats duplicate, and name it star 2. Okay, and drag the stars 2 sprite to source image, then duplicate. Next is shopping cart. So let's find the shopping cart sprite in the blueprint, delete it, go to star 2 duplicate and name it shopping cart. Next, you want to drag the shopping cart into star 2. Okay, now the anchor changes from here. Now we're on the right. And then the star 2 anchor is in the middle. Why are anchors important? If you load this on your phone right now, since they're buttons, they're gonna be anchored depending on your screen size. If your anchor, say I set the anchor to right on all of this, and my screen size is not the same as this, you're gonna see your buttons all like messed up to the right and stuff. So it's good to make sure your anchor is right. Now I just duplicated the shopping cart. Next is our like button, so I'm just gonna write like and then drag it over there. I'm gonna find the like button sprite on here. I mean the likes sprite, I'm gonna delete it. Okay, then let me drag this. Okay, there, like. Okay, this is on the right, yes. Okay, let's give them space a bit. Okay, shopping cart. Okay, star 2. Oops. Then stats. Alright, so there we have our buttons. Now we have to go to the top buttons, but let me click play. You should click on every button and it should change to the color, highlighted color over here. So all of them work, and when I hover over them, they change color, as you see. Okay, so now let's work on the top buttons. First, go to File, Save Scene. And then let's work on the top buttons. Alright, so what we want to do here, let's duplicate the like button, and let's send it all the way to the top. So move it. Alright. Sorry. I can just do that. I don't know why I was struggling there. Okay, now we have question mark. So let's name this question instead of like one. Question. Okay. Now let's find the question mark sprite in the blueprint and let's delete it. This question, delete. Okay, now let's go back to our canvas and click the question button and drag the question sprite. Okay, there we have it. Okay, let's duplicate this. Next one is present. So let's type present. Alright, and then as you see, let's find the present sprite in the blueprint and delete it. Alright, now go to present button and then let's put the present sprite. Okay, now the next one's no ads, duplicate. Rename it to no ads. Okay, so then what you want to do is, let's bring this down here, go to your blueprint, find the no ads in here, delete it. Okay, and then go to no ads button, drag the sprite to the source image. Next, let's duplicate the no ads, drag it to the right, and this one is infinite, so let's name it infinite. Alright, find the infinite sprite in the blueprint, delete it, go to infinite, drag the sprite, infinite sprite. Okay, now let's duplicate this, and last button we have here is sound. So sound, and then we want to go over here to our blueprint, look for sound, delete it. Now go to sound, let's drag the sound into the sound sprite to the source image. Okay, now all these buttons over here are big. Let's scale them down a bit. So from question to sound, we're gonna go to scene, select one of the buttons, then zoom out. Select your scaling tool. Okay, that's too small. Scale them up a bit. Alright, that's good. So now what we want to do, let's make sure the anchors are right. So for question is on top right, present top right, same anchor, and then for no ads, let's say top right. So for infinite, top left, oops, top left, sound, top left, top left, yeah. Okay, so now let's play. All this should be, they're all buttons now. Okay, so what we want to do, let's actually create the first scene today. How we're gonna do this, let's go to File, New Scene, save this scene, And then we're gonna name this play. Save scene as play. So let me open up the game on my phone and see how the first scene is. Alright. Okay. So the first scene, let's add a background. Let's scale that. Doesn't matter how much you scale it, just needs to be taking or covering the whole screen. So now let's make it a little dark like that. And then we have the color switch logo at the bottom. Let's scale that down. Let's double click that. Scale it down. That's too small. Scale it up a bit. Alright, there. That's perfect. Now let's add the two color switch circles. Let's duplicate them. Alright. Okay, I think that's good. Are they too big? Yeah, they're too big. So what we want to do is select that. Both of these circles here. They're both named color switch. We're gonna change that too. Okay, let's change them to circles. Circle 1. Circle 1. Rename that to circle 1. Then rename this to circle 2. Circle 2. Okay, so now what we want to do is at the bottom there's a hand or a finger that gets the game started up. Let's see if I added the asset to that. Okay, I guess I didn't, but this is what we can do. Go to 3D game object cube. Let's do this. Bring down the cube. Scale it. Go like that. Duplicate this cube. Scale it on the x-axis, y-axis. Move it on the... Okay, that's gonna be our hand. I forgot to make the sprite, so we'll just use this as our hand. Scale it down. Alright, now let's go here, down here, create material, and then click. You don't have to name it. Select both of the cubes. Alright, and then we want emission, set it to white. Okay, let's fix that cube again, where we don't want people seeing breaks. Okay. So there we have it. That's gonna be our the finger where our player is gonna start. Let's parent this cube into here. Okay, now they're together. Let's move it down like that, and now let's put our ball in there. Okay, that's gonna be our ball. Scale it down. Okay, now we're gonna want to move it down. Okay, so let's change the color of this ball to like pink, like that. Okay, now let's put the first circle. I have two different types of sprite. I have these, which I guess I'm gonna use these circles instead of the new ones. Let me scale this up. That's gonna be our first circle, and it starts up here. We're gonna make it rotate later. Now let's save this scene, and I said save it as play if you already haven't. Now let's go back to scene 1, and let's create a script for the play button. So create C# let's say main or M. Just name it M. Let's open that up. Next, what you want to do is erase this, and let's say public void play, and then that's gonna be application dot load level parentheses, open and close parentheses, double quotation marks, and then the scene name is called play. This is case sensitive, so if your scene, like the second scene, if you put play in, if you put the P in uppercase, you have to put it in uppercase here too, or it's not gonna find the scene you want to load. So let me save this, semicolon at the end, save. Okay, it should have saved. Now I'm gonna put the script in the canvas, drag them to the canvas, and then go to the play button. On click the plus sign, drag the canvas in there, and you're gonna go to function, look for the script name, which is M, and then play. Now what you want to do, go to file, build settings, add this scene here, and then go to your second scene, which should be named play, add it into there too. So now, oops, in this scene I need to make sure all the sprites are in the layer 1. That's what I messed up. So all sprites except the background are in the layer 1. Okay, so now let's save this. Let's go back to play, or scene 1. Play it. Let's click play. Then once we click play, it should load that. Okay. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. I upload videos of remaking games. I should be uploading more. Thank you for watching. Windows. So once you've done that, select the move transform tool and press Command V or Control V. Next image, same thing, magnetic lace